think they should do some introspection into themselves.
No, the only introspection necessary is her. She's over 30 getting this message and she's offended by it. That's the only introspection they need. If she had said, hey, the fact that you don't like women over 30, that's your opinion. I think it's kind of weird. And she has said it that way. That's fine. If she had said that was her opinion. No, she said that guys who don't want to date women over 30 should go to jail. A lot of people
hyper-fixated on this idea that women expire after the age of 30 are pedos. What the do you mean you are a whole-ass, grown-ass man and you don't like a grown-ass woman? Huh? What do you like? Actually, don't answer that. I already know. You need to stay away from all schools, all playgrounds, and all children, boys and girls, immediately and forever. You guys tell on yourselves every single time you make a comment on a grown woman's age. You're expired after 30 and you're a fucking monster. You need professional help. You actually need to go to jail, and then if you get out, you need to go to hell immediately after. You're a sick fucking individual. Not only are screws loose, but they're completely fucking missing. You guys should be so fucking ashamed and embarrassed to even say these intrusive thoughts you have out loud, right? You should get some professional help if you don't find women that are your age, of age, attractive. Yeah? I hope you heard that loud and clear. Okay, get that help. Bye.
Well, someone's over 30.
Yeah, exactly. Why is she upset? Why is she upset?
Hey, fun fact, though, my girlfriend's 37, so I need to pee.
Let me ask you guys a question. If a woman wants to date a man who has $1 million in the bank, should she go get professional help?
There's a difference between wanting a man who is financially sound to provide versus wanting
a woman under 30, not under 18, under 30.
Under 30, I understand. But at the same time, it's like, where are you? Like, when it comes down to mentals, I understand physical attraction.
If you like a woman who's 29, that does not make you a pedophile. Sorry.
That does not make you a pedophile.
What she's saying is objectively incorrect.
But in a year, she's going to be over 30.
You don't need to go to jail for that. By the way, I don't mind women over 30 at all. My point is, if there are men out there who have a preference, there are women out there that don't want to date white men. There are women out there who don't want to date black men, but that's okay. That's a healthy preference. There are women out there who don't want to date men who are under 5'8". Those women, should we call them elitists? What should we call them? There are men out there who don't want to date women over 30. That is their right to do so. They are not pedophiles. They should not go to jail or hell because of what this woman said. She's only saying this.
I think they should do some introspection into themselves.
The only introspection necessary is her. She's over 30 getting this message and she's offended by it. That's the only introspection they need. If she had said, hey, the fact that you don't like women over 30, that's your opinion. I think it's kind of weird. And she has said it that way. That's fine. If she had said that was her opinion. No, she said that guys who don't want to date women over 30 should go to jail. That's what she did.
She was being extremist.
Then go to hell right afterwards.
That was super radical. But if you take it down to the baseline of the fact that she's just looking at the fact that men.
No, she isn't. She's just upset. She's just offended. She's just offended because she's over 30.
I don't know. She's speaking on a key point of the fact that men are attracted to youthfulness.
I don't know.
Yes, and
I've always been attracted to older men, even in my 20s. So I've always been attracted to older men.
A lot of us have been, but at the same time, it's like I don't want a man to be attracted to me just because I'm under 30.
Yeah, that's true.
Like just because.
No, for sure. What I'm saying is, women have so many preferences that are considered to be healthy. A man's skin color, eye color, his height, how much money he makes, and his status in the world, and all of these attributes that women have, they're totally not shamed for it. In fact, the women who are under 25 who date Leonardo DiCaprio, who's over 50, there is no shame for those women. Those women are never called out and they are never shamed. Again, I don't have a problem if you want to date a woman who's over 30 or under 30. My point is, if you make the decision to date a woman who's under 30, you have every right to have that decision made. And she has no right to say you need to go to jail. But the only reason she's saying it is not because she's trying to get to the root of any problem. She's doing it because it hurts her feelings. She is feeling some kind of fucking way and has to act out. That's the only reason she's doing that. Because I got news for you. I know a bunch of girls that are 21, 22 years old. And if they heard that shit, they'd be like, yeah, it's probably right. They don't have a problem. I know girls who are 21 years old and they're like, yeah, guys like to date girls who are in their early 20s. And they're like, yeah, they should. We're the hottest. They don't have a problem with it. No, if that girl was 22 years old, she wouldn't be making that girl was 22 years old. She wouldn't be making this video. She'd be dating a guy who's rich and over 30. She would not be making this video. She's only doing
I not dare age myself, but I'm older than her and she's definitely at butthurt.
Yeah, she's butthurt.
She's definitely butthurt. She could have presented different.
You need to stay away from schools because you like women who are 29. You need to stay away from
That's
schools.
crazy.
That's what she said. Again, and she goes viral for that, and she's not held accountable for the nonsense that she's spewing out there.
There are a lot of.
There's a lot of women that's like that though.
I'll be honest. I am perfectly fine with whatever age I'm not going to throw it out there, but I love telling people what it is because they literally look at me like.
Here's the issue.
But, but a 70-year-old man being attracted to you wouldn't make sense still, but it would make sense.
It's a little weird.
An 18-year-old.
I know some 70-year-old men that would be very much attracted to her.
I don't know.
100%.
It wouldn't even still make sense.
I can think of one in
You're
Scottsdale.
the jawline and like
You're
still like,
too hot. You're still too hot. But like, but can you think about like what's going through? My dad's 72, and I watch him watch these reels and these TikToks of these young women, and I'm
not
like,
going there.
Right? How your daddy look?
My mom's the breadwinner. You can't compete with her. Okay, she makes all the money. So, but I, I hear those viral sounds. I know he's watching some young woman shake ass and stuff. And so it's obviously evolutionary, and I can't judge my dad for it. But at the same time, it's like
the hornier you get.
It's
Well,
like,
yeah. Well, I mean, this is the power dynamic, which is great power comes great responsibility. Maybe perhaps these women with agency shouldn't be doing this. If we do have a problem with it, if we do have a problem with older men looking at younger women doing things, maybe it's the responsibility.
Do we have a problem though?
Well, also you got to think about like the mental of the woman.
the young women are not thinking that far in advance.
Because
Well,
some
not
probably
only
happened
that,
to them.
Hang on. There also a lot of women want stability, so they look at an older man for stability. But two, not only that, a lot of women have trauma. So it's like Captain
exactly.
Save a Hoe, okay?
Or a lot of women
Did
sometimes.
men who come back from war have a lot of trauma? I think maybe they
so.
did. I
Yes,
think
I
they
think-
did
Have-
something like
when
that.
have men been
No,
coming
it's like
back from war?
it's sexual trauma and it's emotional trauma and
Oh,
so,
a lot of men have had really bad sex too that they probably wish they could
I've been
forget.
traumatized.
As kids, like
so,
as
like,
growing
okay,
up.
but
You act like
also-
men aren't getting molested when they're children
No,
also.
I'm not